So now we're going to get familiar how to create the safe selection in here. I mean, a selection set in here. So to use it at first, you have to select element or elements in here. For example, let me actually go in here and inside this project, for example, I will click on one of these beams. And for example, from here, selection same, I will go and based on the kind of criteria that I have for myself as an example, based on, for example, same name, I will select them. And as you can see, all of the beams that are similar to this one about the name, they will be selected in here. So right now, this icon got activated in here, save selection. So let me just click on save selection in here. It will be created. Of course, you can set a name for it. As an example, griddle framing in here. So let me click on this one. Whenever during the work, if I need it, I just need to click on it. All of them will be selected in here. Or even, for example, let's click on one of these joists. Again, select same name. Again, I will save them. So let me name it joist framing. If I click on each one, they will be actually selected for us. So very easily we can use them. Of course, we can do a lot of actions on them. For example, let me click on griddle framing in here. And then, for example, I will go on item tools that we'll talk about them, of course, in future. And let's set the color, for example, red. Or even joist, for example, let's go on item tools again. And for example, the color, for example, will be yellow. And very easily we can just define them inside all of the project and where they are existing in here. It was kind of really simple example to you. Let's go into home, for example, project, reset, appearance, that they will be returned exactly to the default. That we'll talk about this item in future too. So this is it. But let's go for safe search in here. Safe search is in a way that at first you will go and find items. And for example, you will set the criteria searching for yourself. For example, let me just click on one of these dots in here. Let's go into element, actually category, or for example, system classification. Yes, system classification, it's so supply air. For example, let's go on element, system classification, equals actually supply air. So equals supply. So first, let's copy the name in here. Just find all. It will be selected in here. As you can see, this icon got activated by clicking actually on save search. It will be created. Let me control V. It will be pasted in here. Or even, for example, the next part actually, let me set it on return. So let's copy the name, find all, and let's click again on it. And as you can see, it got created in here. So let's go in here, exhaust. The name will be added, of course, so I don't need to type it again. Find all of the exhausts will be actually copied, and again, select them, and we'll just paste it in here. So we can do it till the end. It's really, we have another faster way that, for example, of course, on new versions, for example, 2025, if you have older versions, of course, you have to install the plugin of the properties and on your system that we have talked about it, of course. So as an example, let me click on this pipe. For example, the system classification, if you pay attention, is sanitary. If you right click on it, create search set will be selected and automatically will be created in here, and all of them will be created in here. And it's really a faster way for you for work, for example, and for the other elements you can do it. Let me tell you this point actually, that first let's keep them in here, these two ones. Let me just click all of them. For example, click on the first one and press shift, drag the mouse cursor to the end, all of them will be selected. So we can understand that what parts we have inside the safe search, or for example, safe selection, for example, we will go on here based on this system classification. It is electrical, for example. So in electrical, we want to go for conduits that we have here, or for example, the fitting. Let me just click on fitting in here. That what kind of category it is. It is conduit fittings. And for example, the kind of parameter could be created in here that, for example, they're similar. For example, 51. Let's go for here. Just like, let me do something else. For example, let me go conduit, category conduit, for example, fittings. So I will go on one of these ones and right click on them, and let's go for create search. Let's open the find items in here. For example, it got added into here. So instead of the equal, let's set it on contains. So let's click on find all in here. One of these fittings will be selected in here. For example, conduits. Of course, it doesn't have S. Yes. Let me just delete S. Let's find. You see, all of the conduits were found for us. So these are really important and professional ways for us that we can use them. So let's actually click on conduits. For example, let's copy the name in here, copy value, and then, for example, search, Control V. The fitting will be deleted. Conduits. You see, it is correct. So it is good. Hide. So after it, actually, we will just select this element in here. It is pipe. Of course, system classification is existing in here. So right click, and then I will just go on create search set in here. So automatically it got created in here. So first you can rename them in here by right clicking. For example, rename. We told you that we can rename them in here. So let me just make them shorter. So right click again, rename. For example, just sanitary is important for me. Enter. So let's click on another element that is pipe again. For example, let's close it, of course. Domestic hot water. So create search. Right click, rename. And let's delete the first part in here. So hide them. Let's click on one of these lights. This is actually lighting fixture. So let's right click on all of the light fixtures, create search set. So it will be added in here. So let's rename it. Click on it, hide. So, you know, this hiding will really help us that what kind of parts we have in here. The next one category is mechanical equipment, create search set, for example, again. And for example, in here, like this, hide. Again, this part, electrical equipment, create search set, right click, rename, and let's correct it based on the need that you want, of course, or thing that you like. And for example, again, this one, plumbing equipment, for example, again, rename it. All of these ones actually in order for your project, always try to, for example, create them that during the work your actually speed of working will be really faster and higher. Electrical fixture, and all of the electrical fixtures will be selected. So let's click on some of these ones, and you can just first click on some of these items, and for example, just put them in one category. You can do it. So plumbing fixtures, right click. Let's search set it. We told you that, for example, search set is not, it is more flexible, and we can just preferably use it in our projects. So of course we can use safe selections in many situations too. So let's click on this lighting devices, right click, and create search in here. And again, let's rename it. And all of those actually structures based on this we can consider. Zoom out. So here, category, data device. And for example, rename in here. And actually, let's click on it, hide. So actually we did these ones. What are they? They are structural. So actually we did them like this. We created these safe search, for example. If we want, for example, to show them, of course, we can just click the last one and keep shift and we'll drag the mouse cursor to the first one. It will take a little time, of course, for the first time that it can, for example, select all of them. You have to be patient. Let's just click on hide, that it will be shown. For example, whenever that you click on them, you will have access to them. So let's work on more professional way about creating these safe search, or excuse me, these sets in here that we'll talk about in the next part.